Welcome back to Across the Glass Sea. This is a live play 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Nathaniel Miller, and I am joined in studio, as always, by...
Ben, gimme the lore drop Gilbreth, playing Temerian. I hate abandoning my friends, Narsalé.
Be careful what you wish for. I'll just say that. We are also joined by...
Michael Bazul playing Lichen. I don't know what to say here. You follow me, Will.
I do have
Awesome.
a fresh pen and a fresh sheet of paper for the episode notes.
All right, very
I'm
good.
legit going to get a sticky note on my desktop somewhere that just has a bunch of eye stuff.
That's a good idea.
Synonym.com or something.
Yeah. Just go to the dictionary and just have Webster's right next to your computer and bookmark the I section. Before we engage in more, linguistic-based banter, how about we have a recap?
Yes, please.
All right. Last time in Tyroa, our heroes were beset by an arcane intelligence set in a massive battleship, which through its magical powers had taken over their ship Wayfinder. As you battled the storms and waves, you were pulled slowly but surely towards this hulking vessel on the far shore, and the situation looked pretty serious. Luckily, Lichen remembered the words to dismiss Wayfinder to its pocket dimension, and the whole party, the whole crew, dropped into the sea. You swam ashore, and after you kind of dried yourselves off, Lichen, Tam, and Burgen set off to find a way to defeat the arcane intelligence. On the way, you witnessed clockwork marines fighting against mysterious forces in the distance with thunder and lightning, and it seemed that something magical was afoot. You confronted the intelligence, which you found out was named Stalwart Watchman, and was a relic of the ancient Sun Dwarf Imperium. After this intelligence discovered that the Imperium was no more, it turned hostile and declared that its new directive was vengeance. After a fierce battle, which started to turn against our heroes, you were rescued by a mysterious air elemental Myrmidon and teleported to a castle high in the clouds. Who knows what new allies, new powers, new enemies our heroes might encounter across the glass sea. And so you all find yourselves standing in this very large room. The walls and floor are made of this white stone. It's not quite marble. It's strange. You've never seen stone that is quite like this. It is equal parts in look and appearance like a white stone, like a granite. It looks a little bit also like wood, like white wood. And it also looks a little bit like, from a distance, how you would imagine a cloud would look if you were right up next to it.
Oh.
It's very light and airy. There's many windows and openings. The roof in this chamber is open. You see all around you that there is evidence of age. These walls, these rooms, some of these windows are worn. You think at one point perhaps some of these windows had panes of glass that have long since been blown away or broken or something. Kind of in front of you, there is a colonnade and a balcony on the other side, and outwards it extends out. You see, like, out into the clouds. Like, you look like you are standing upon a cloud, and it just stretches off into the horizon. Behind you, there is a door made of wood that sits back into the chamber that seems to face, if you're kind of using your, I guess you don't have any spatial awareness, you haven't explored yet, so there's a door behind you. The only other things in this room that you notice at the moment are bits of rubble and masonry kind of scattered around, and then there is this air elemental is standing with you guys. As a reminder, it's you two, Lichen, Tam, Burgen, and the Cloud Elf historian, ambassador, Orden Aronath is with you as well.
Is anyone still down? Because we had a couple people down at the end, right?
No, Tam was... I got a potion right at the end, and
Okay.
Burgen... I think either you had fed Burgen or a potion, or I know I healing worded him at some point.
Okay, so everyone's
But
back up.
as that goes on, I'm going to cast Prayer of Healing. So we all get 2d8 plus my wisdom. So that's 5 plus 7. We all get 12 hit points back.
Cool. The air elemental who told you he doesn't have a name, he says he is a servant. He says,
"You have taken many injuries. If you wish to rest, you may do so. It is safe in this chamber."
thanks again. We came here exploring, knowing something was going on, having heard tales that something was going on, but no pun intended, we are completely out of our depth here.
Indeed. When you are ready, I will take you to see the master of the tower.
Well, Captain, I mean, would you like to go now, or do you want to rest for a bit? He mentioned that the rest of the crew can be rescued.
Yeah, I think he said he was sending someone else for them, but quick question, so we're up in the tower now? Or are we at the top of the chain that we saw from down there?
Yes, you find yourselves in the citadel of Miftar, approximately 1,000 meters above the location where I rescued you from.
Citadel of Mithtar?
Yeah, Miphttar, Miftar. He goes on to explain that this is a cloud elf citadel of the Cloud Kingdom, and that this is the entrance chamber. This is one of the entrance chambers.
And we can't see, we're in a room, we can see out above the clouds, but we can't, all we see is the interior of a room behind us with the door, right?
Yeah, from where you're at.
Got it, okay.
You can go out onto the balcony, you can look around if you
We're
want to.
on the front porch.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Imagine like a big, I mean, it's kind of like a screened-in patio, but with no screens, you know?
Yeah, Tam will walk out onto the open area and then turn around and look up.
Okay, cool. First, as you walk out onto the balcony, you see below you, the cloud doesn't actually come up to the balcony. You see below you there is just a grassy slope with wildflowers and small trees even here and there that
Well, this is
sort
lovely.
It's very rich, it's very beautiful, that rolls down to a cliff edge, and then there's the clouds beyond it. So you can see, like, it's not just the castle, there's also, like, some land around the castle that is there. Also, as you look down, you see towards the edge of the cliff, there are signs of battle. There are muddy ruts, almost where things had crashed. There are places where it seems some great machine had tried to claw its way up and then been cast down. You see shattered forms of clockwork marines and other figures as well. So you know that this place is not untouched by the struggle that has been going on below.
Do I see any elvish bodies? Any humanoid skeletons?
From this distance, nothing you can make out.
Okay.
Can I do a perception, or am I even able to look out past the clouds into the ocean? Those 3 Pirate King ships, are they still in pursuit into where we just got brought out of?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Can I use my spyglass?
Yeah, of course.
That's a 14.
Cool. You do not see them.
Okay.
So you don't know if they've broken off or if they have sailed into the storm, but from this angle you cannot see them out on the open seas.
Last thing before I just kind of follow and keep a head on a swivel, I want to hit my medallion.
Oh yeah, good.
Wayfinder, are you there? Are you back?
Yes, I'm here. It seems that whatever hold Stalwart Watchman had over me was only possible because we were on the same plane of existence. I would advise you not to summon me back until it can be reasonably certain that the other intelligence will cease to attempt to control me.
So we're on a separate plane of existence?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
Yes. Make a arcane.
I missed
Make an
that.
Arcana check.
Okay.
I'm not going to because I missed it.
I just now asked. Arcana 14.
Yeah, with a 14 and Wayfinder saying this, you would know that when Wayfinder is dismissed into the place where it goes, when you turn it into the figurine, it's like a demiplane.
Oh, I thought you meant we were on a separate plane of existence, not
no.
Wayfinder.
Yes, Wayfinder is
Got
currently
it.
in a demiplane.
Okay, yeah,
A
I
pocket
was
dimension.
I was like, oh, if we go up high enough, we go into a different plane.
I mean, is there anything you could tell us about that ship that might be helpful if we do have to take it out of commission?
She will think for a second. It appears that Stalwart Watchman is housed within a Colossus-class replicator battleship. One of the most fearsome weapons that the Imperium had. It is not only equipped with a great deal of weaponry, but it is also equipped with a replicator forge that is able to take most material and reconstitute it for its own purposes.
Oh dear.
Okay, so
The fact that this citadel has not fallen to it is greatly impressive.
yeah, hopefully we'll get to the bottom of that too.
What do I see as I turn and look back towards the castle?
As you turn around, you see, I think it's probably the biggest castle you've ever seen.
Nice.
Towering turrets and walls. I mean, it's crafted in a way that both seems to fit in rather than power over the topography of this floating island, and yet it also reaches up to the sky. And you see the towers, they seem to almost float and sway with the wind. All created with this same stone that is equal parts granite, wood, and cloud, for lack of a better way of describing it.
Is there any evidence of life? I think Tam is immediately looking for real people.
You see a number of other air elementals.
Oh.
You
that's
see
cool too.
plenty of birds. You see there's this one of the towers, it seems, has been taken over to be a rookery for a bunch of albatrosses and other sort of long ocean-going birds. You see other kind of mammals, like some sort of mountain gopher thing, burrowing, has a burrow, almost like a prairie dog, a cross between a prairie dog and a badger. Like a couple of them poke their heads up and then dip down into the field in front of you.
Look, Captain, badger dogs.
Yes, you see some badger dogs.
They're good luck back in the Kingdom of the Wood.
But you see no sign of any people, as it were.
Oh.
I mean, the air elementals might be people, but you're not quite sure about that.
Mr. Rescuer,
Yes,
do you know when our friends will be arriving?
we have sent several others of us to get them. They will be safe.
I apologize if I missed it, but do you have a name?
No,
Okay.
you may call me whatever you wish. I am only a servant of the master of the tower.
I think we should call him Mr. Rescuer. I like that.
Suits me fine.
I will respond as I am able.
Okay. Well, lead the way. We'll be taking a look around, I guess, as we walk, but
Cool.
we'd definitely like to talk to who's in charge of this place up here.
Yeah, we'd like
Cool.
to meet the master.
Yeah, he sort of gestures towards the door, and you guys all come with. And as he reaches the door, he doesn't turn the handle. He just sort of waves his hand in front of it, and the door opens. And you pass through into a hallway. There are fine rugs in here that are sadly weathered with age. Everything is tidy, but not everything is like clean, if that makes sense. Like, it seems that you happen to pass a lesser air elemental that is like puffing at dust, like going about its business cleaning it.
All I can
but
think of is the broom creatures from Fantasia.
Yes, very very similar. You pass by a number of different air elementals of different calibers and sizes doing various menial tasks. The other thing that you notice as you pass by is carved into the wall are these very intricate, bas-reliefs or tableaus, not sculptures per se, but like carvings in the walls. And you catch one out of the corner of your eye that it almost looks like it's animated, like it's moving. And you look at it more closely and it's still. And
Don't like that.
you pass through the hallways.
Mr. Araneth, what do you make of all this? Is this what you thought was going to be here?
Oh, laddie, this is in some ways an even greater find than I could imagine. No one from the Cloud Kingdom has heard tell of Miftar for nigh on 1,000 years, and so we are quite literally walking upon ground that perhaps no mortal has trod upon for hundreds, if not 1,000 years.
I've never been to a cloud elf. Are they all like this?
There's different purposes, different levels of craftsmanship, of artistry. Only in the capital of the Cloud Kingdom have I seen anything like this.
What's this stone made of?
It's
Or is it stone? I mean, it's like if a tree and a cloud grew together.
He thinks for a second, and yeah, he thinks for a second. He says,
the nature of this construction is actually one of the most closely guarded secrets of the Cloud Elves. Cloud Elves have a reputation for being mysterious and flighty, and it's perhaps a little bit earned.
but
Tim
we're
just kinda
also.
nods.
You've heard it said that the Sun Dwarves were the masterful artificers, that their constructs and their ability to create was second to none. Now, that might be true, but the secret ways of the Cloud Elf artificers could give them a run for their money. You see, we call this weave, and he knocks on it.
Oh, weave?
And weave, yes.
Okay.
And it's actually created. It's not something that we mine or quarry. It is synthesized as Cloud Elf artificers literally sing it into existence by combining stone from the earth element, the dimension of elemental earth, and the clouds themselves. And so he goes on to explain this kind of confusing magical process whereby essentially these artificers are creating this material that is, has some of the properties of stone and wood and air, but is none of those three things.
That's amazing.
And basically whereas the Sun Dwarf artificers were like making robots and constructs, they were sort of almost like a cross between wind druids and artificers, like weaving nature into new and different forms to serve as tools and functions.
That's cool.
There's something similar to this in the Kingdom of the Wood, but not to this scale or this beauty, if I'm being completely honest.
It is true. Nothing. This craftsmanship of this quality is known only to a very few. Most of the secrets have been lost, and in times past, it's true, actually, our wood elf cousins taught us many of these principles, but I'm afraid much of the art has been lost there too.
I mean, my father's been a woodworker for his whole life, and he's well respected, but I've never seen him do something like this on this scale, so my hat's off to your ancestors, I guess.
So, you know history much more than I do. So the Sun Dwarves were in a fight with the Cloud Elves over what exactly again? And why? I mean, there's still Cloud Elves around, to my knowledge. Why would none come to help here? I mean, that shit made it sound like it's been fighting here for hundreds of years at this point.
He thinks for a second, and he says, "As for your first question, that's easier to answer. The rivalry between the Cloud Elves and the Sun Dwarves lasted for centuries, and it was the same as people struggle today. Power, influence, dominion. There really were no other powers that were able to sort of conquer and dominate the Glass Sea in those days other than the Cloud Elves and the Sun Dwarves. And as the struggle went on, the years grew longer and longer. Both sides just started to lose vigor, lose power. We were simply bleeding ourselves dry, and it paved the way for the younger races, men and tieflings and orcs, to come up and to start to take parts of the Glass Sea for themselves. And then with the arrival of the Tyrant 300 years ago, it was the death knell for both kingdoms of being influential and powerful. The Sun Dwarves realized their time was coming to an end before that and began retreating, although to where, I know not. The Cloud Elves similarly began retreating to their floating islands over the Glass Sea. As for why no one has come here, I believe some have tried. There were Cloud Elf ships in the wreckage down below.
That's true.
But once a nation has decided to retreat beyond, up into its hideaways and fortresses, it's hard to summon the courage to return to the world.
No, that's fair. I guess if I had thought about it a little bit longer, maybe I could have come to that conclusion. I mean,
You haven't studied the Cloud Elf history and looked at all of the, followed the scholarship for the last 100 years. It's okay.
yeah, I mean, I don't think we would have stood a chance by ourselves down there. I've never seen a ship that can just turn out men or constructs like that before.
Yes, I've heard tales of things like that, but never seen anything like that. And if I'm being honest, I wish I hadn't. I had thought that it was a myth or some sort of boogeyman that my people told about the dark old days, but seeing it in in the flesh was terrifying.
It's a bit different than reading about it, isn't it?
Quite a bit, yes, indeed. I don't know if I'll want to go into battle again, but we might not have a choice.
Well, you handled yourself very well. So well done.
I thank you. You guys continue on down these hallways through twists and turns. I mean, it's a massive fortress, and everywhere
Still no
you turn,
signs of people life.
no signs of life. You pass dining halls that are empty. You pass sort of office spaces for functionaries or other. There's desks with stacks of parchment and inkwells. The ink is long gone dry, empty. You pass storage rooms. You pass by a wing of dormitories with beds perfectly made up, all empty.
This is all rather sad.
Until you come through this massive door, and there is a waterfall in this massive open space that is crashing down. You look up and you can see there's a pinnacle of this island, and out of it spouts a small waterfall, but it seems the fortress has been raised around it. And sort of in this large open air chamber, you see many pillars of bronze that are mounted into this weave material, and at the center of these pillars there's a chair or a throne, perhaps, and on it sits a figure who looks like a cloud elf. His hair is long, goes down past his knees. He looks very gaunt and thin, and as you get close, you see his eyes are closed, and a vein is popping out of his forehead as if he is concentrating very, very closely on something. His hands are on this chair. He's clad in a simple, sky blue robe, and across his knees there is a scepter. And you start walking through this room, which seems to be arrayed like a throne room.
Mr. Rescuer, am I right in assuming that this is the master?
Indeed, this is the master of the tower. I will introduce you.
And he holds up his arms, and you hear, not in common, in this some language that you don't understand that sounds like the howling of winds. He calls forth, and after a beat, maybe 5-10 seconds, this figure raises his head and he opens one eye at you guys. And he responds in the same language, some howling noise. And then he responds in some form of Elvish, but not one that you've heard. And Orden Aranath pokes his head up as if he understands.
Did Tam understand it at all?
He gets some words. Imagine a Spanish speaker and a Portuguese speaker overhear them talking. There'd be some overlap, but there'd be some. But
Okay.
the grammar, a lot of the vocab's different.
Yeah, I've got nothing really.
Yeah.
What's
So
he
you
saying?
hear Orden Aranath says,
I guess it's up to me to translate then. I've asked him if he speaks common, and he doesn't. Or rather, he said this was common when I was talking to people regularly, so it's good enough for me, it's good enough for you, and I think we should just listen to what he says. I'll try to translate pretty quickly. I've introduced him, I've let him know who we are. He says that his name is Diomedes Axion, and he says he's the ruler of this citadel. Seems he's some sort of an archmage. He doesn't really look like much, but he says that chair right there is enabling him to use and activate all of the arcane defenses that this fortress has. And so he's bending the great majority of his will towards keeping the clockwork adversaries at bay. He asks why we've come.
Would he care for some healing? Would that help him? He looks.
Or some food.
Oh, that.
He looks pretty skin and bones.
as you are watching, you see one of the other air elemental servants comes and brings him, a plate of something. You can't quite tell what it is.
Just a light snack.
Yeah.
I look at Burgen, cock my head towards the food a little bit. Do you think that's good enough for a king?
Absolutely not. I can't tell what that is. It looks like perhaps, and he looks really closely, fish that was perhaps cooked in some, maybe boiled fish.
It looks pretty tasteless and flavorless, but hold on, I'll whip something up. And he like gets down and he starts making a little fire and he starts cooking something. Orden Iranath says, "Unfortunately, I think some food might actually be really appreciated by him, but as for healing, I think that's just the way he looks. If what he's telling me is right, he's over 1,000 years old, perhaps almost 1,300 years old, which is quite old even for a cloud elf. And it seems that most of his days have been spent sitting in that chair, combating with his mind and his will the intelligence that we were confronted with earlier."
Can you ask him where everyone else has gone?
So he speaks to him in Cloud Elf, and he explains that essentially 1,000 years ago, when there was a point in this siege has been going on for 1,000 years,
Gosh.
where the Cloud King was like, hey, we need to pull back. We need to concentrate our defenses around the capital. This is an outpost we can't really maintain anymore. Axion essentially volunteered to stay behind and like cover everyone else's retreat. So everyone else evacuated, and he has stayed here, thinking at the last minute, if the Clockwork people are about to overpower me, I'm gonna sink the island. But he's been holding out, so he hasn't needed to.
Tam just looks at him and says, "You've protected your people. Why have you stayed? Is there something here that's worth dying for?"
He just responds with one word: the repository.
What's it a repository of, if you don't mind my asking?
They have a conversation, Orden Iranath and Axion on the throne.
If he begins to speak longer than usual, you said they're gonna have a discussion.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna drop comprehend languages so I can listen.
Nice.
As is.
Okay. That's great. Yeah, so you hear them.
Sorry.
No, it's good. For the first time, you hear this guy, and he's speaking in the same language as Orden Iranath, but he's speaking with like an older parlance. Fancier words is how the comprehend language is gonna like have it come through. And it's a long conversation, so I won't role play all of it. But the gist of it is, he's saying this is could be one of the Cloud Kingdom's like most precious resources. It's something that can never fall into enemy hands, but should only be destroyed if there's no other option. And just from eavesdropping, you basically get the idea that the repository is something magical. And Orden Iranath keeps saying, like, well, just like tell us what it is. Like, we want to help. We're here to help. Like, just show us. It's okay. Like, I'm an ambassador of the Cloud King, which you start to realize is why he's entertaining you all in the first place.
Nice.
And eventually he's like, all right, okay, I'll tell you. And he goes on to say that the repository is essentially a library of arcane and lost knowledge. Anything from the process to create new spells to the process of weave making, artificery, just all kinds of stories and plans and things are contained in this library. And it is located like deep in the rock under you guys.
So if these robots down below were defeated, would you be able to leave and know that you've done your job? That you've served well?
He looks and he says, I might be the oldest cloud elf that's ever lived. I have given my life to defend the knowledge of our people. Whenever my task is done, I will depart.
I think Tam is now viewing this as a soldier seeing someone, fighting a delaying action that's just been ongoing.
Yep.
I think we want to help. If I'm being honest, I'd rather help you than worry about this repository, but if this ship down there is broken and creating... If it turns its ire onto something else, it could be a problem for the rest of the world. Your servant here said that we may have brought hope with us. Would you care to fill in the gaps a bit?
Yeah, he'll say both sides essentially have been bleeding each other dry over the last 1,000 years, and in some ways he says it's reminiscent of the war between their empires. Just sort of continually bashing their heads against one another. But you are fresh, and you have the ability to do things that air elementals who we have summoned into, to be our helpers, don't have. If I were to teleport some of the
He calls them the Howling Shield. If I were to teleport some members of the Shield into this enemy battleship, all they would be able to do would be to fight the physical manifestations of the clockwork creatures. They can't cast spells, can't use magic items, but mortals who have the capacity for arcane action, they are different, and you have the capability to destroy utterly the ship that lurks below.
So you need a trigger man.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, he says, through Araneth.
Glad to know that 1,000 years of language, that's still the term.
Yeah.
Lichen will sit down, cross-legged on the floor, elbow on a knee. What happens if we just cut the chain? Will this thing just fly into the sky, or...
He says it's actually kind of rather the opposite. The chain itself is arcane, and though there are naturally floating arcane islands, we have built so much on top of this island that if all of the magic that's holding it up were severed, it would come crashing down, and it would destroy everything under it, but it would also destroy the repository, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, he says, because it seems that the world... Well, he asks, like, is the world okay? Like, has it survived the last 1,000 years?
Ooh.
So far so good,
Yes.
as the man said who fell out of a tree.
He's like, so everyone's doing fine without it. Like, if it goes away, it'll be okay. I think the most important thing is it not fall in the wrong hands, which are the clockwork people down below.
Robot fingers.
Yes.
His name's Diomedes, right?
Uh-huh.
I guess I can't. I guess I can only understand him. I can't speak it, so I'll ask Araneth. Ask him. I mean, can he tell? He's been alive for over 1,000 years. The tyrant was only 300 years ago. Can he shed any more light on the tyrant, on interdimensional things trying to attack the world? Like, is any of that information in the repository? Would he allow us to take a look in this? I excuse me, I'm a man of very simple words. This just sounds like a giant magical library, which I don't love.
That is what it is.
But I will if I have to.
He thinks for a second. Let me see how he's going to respond to that.
We were just talking about the Avatar episode where they go to the magical
Yeah.
library in the
Yeah.
desert. This is
Honestly,
great.
this is a magical library in the sky, baby.
Yeah.
You ask through Araneth. Araneth responds. He asks if there is no knowledge of the Forgotten Three in the world beyond.
Again, I'm a simple man of simple words. I have no recollection of anything like that. Tam, do you?
Do you remember when I said I had that weird dream and I met one of the saints of Hachiman?
Where he told you to ask whatever you want. You asked him if he was okay. Yeah, I remember.
You weren't there. You shut up.
I didn't say I was. You just told me about it. That's what I remember.
He mentioned something about the Forgotten Three as I flip through notes here.
Yeah. Diomedes says, well, if it is not my place to tell that tale, but if you want information on them, you will find it in the repository. He goes on to say, I don't think that we can take action against the invaders below just yet, so there is time to peruse the repository, if you will.
Library episode.
Yes, I was about to ask if we could go look through it, especially because I mean we need to heal. Like, we need spell slots back, we need health back.
I would love to learn about how we could help. I think at this point Tam is more interested in the tactics of taking down the bad guy,
Helping.
and
Yeah.
once that's done, we can do the. I mean, Tam doesn't have anything he's really interested in. Maybe some books of Hachiman or the Saints or something like that. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, if we want to rest and plan an attack, Captain, if you want, I mean, it sounds as though we don't have to sell our lives to defeat those creatures down below.
No, it doesn't. And also, I mean,
If I'm being
again,
honest,
just
I want to defeat them, but
I do too, but also just spitballing again. I know I pitched the idea earlier. what if we drop an entire keg of gunpowder on the mechanical wonder ship from up here, and then walk down and start
Oh, I love
fighting?
it. I mean, we've got lots of barrels. They're on the ship, though. Can we get them? Didn't Wayfinder say we should wake her up?
Yes, we should not wake her up. That's
Is
true.
there a filter here? Can we? I don't know.
Are you asking that?
Yeah, a bit.
I'll say maybe Tam asks what sort of arcane defenses are
or
a part of this.
Is there any evidence that Mr. Diomedes can protect this area from the robots, from the control of the mine down below?
Yeah. You know that you have not heard the voice of Stalwart Watchman since you've bamfed up here, since you teleported to the Citadel. As for all the other arcane, what other kind of arcane things are going on, you're not quite sure. You
Right.
can ask, but you're not sure.
Captain, I think maybe we should do some research, do some planning, wait for our friends to arrive in safety, and possibly attack in the morning, or at least be more well rested. I can't make food today, nor could I do it tomorrow if I'm being complete. No, I could tomorrow, but it is a 3rd level spell.
Remind me, what are y'all's hit points at?
I am at 19 now.
Yeah, after Tam's healing, I'm at 31.
Okay. I think something that would have happened, noticing that you guys were still sort of limping, wounded, the air elemental Myrmidon who was with you guys would have left during the conversation and come back with another air elemental who puts his air appendages into you,
Oh!
and you feel warmth spreading through your bodies, and y'all are all up to full hit points.
Nice!
They would have healed you guys, so Burgen's up to full as well.
Woohoo!
So y'all are healed up to full. No spell slots back, but your hit points are at full
I'm
now.
feeling better. Captain, maybe what if me, you, Burgen, and Penelope go down and just wade in with an attack plan in mind?
Arenath says, I think that Diomedes might have some plans. He says he has to spend the evening thinking and perhaps putting some spells together, but I think his aim is to try to clear away and give you guys perhaps a straight path to whatever it is that's going to shut down the Watchman down below.
I think we go spend some time in this repository. Penelope can come, that'd be great. She's definitely brainier than I am. I'd even say Marco might be able to glean something from this place. He's a smarter. Don't tell the rest of them I said this. He's probably the smartest regular crew member we got.
I knew you had favorites. Come on.
He's a go-getter. He's a self-starter. You love it.
Well, I meant more in the fight, not so much the library. I mean, if they want to come up and spend time in the library, that's great.
I just don't know if we'll ever get a chance at this library again. And like I said, I might not be that interested, but I could see Penelope being very interested.
It seems to me that if we defeat the Watchman, the Watcher in the Water, as it were, that at that point we could come and go as we pleased.
That's true. Well, how do you... I mean, Tam, I don't want to assume anything, but I know some of the run-ins we've had with other Cloud Elves. Are you okay being a reason to, win a bastion back for them?
Oh yeah, I'm not opposed to them. They're just Mr. Aronath, no offense intended, but they're a bunch of snobs. Isolationist snobs. I mean, that's
fair. We deserve it, if we're being honest.
I mean, my people have they've got all their pomp and circumstance and stuff, but the Cloud Elves, man, I mean,
we
they're
could say
a
that
lot.
the Wood Elves are snobs in a different sort of direction,
They are.
maybe.
I'm not going to argue.
I just wanted to
No,
make
I
sure
mean, they're-
before we go through with
They're good
this, 'cause-
folks. I just don't like them. Just because you don't get along with your neighbor doesn't mean you want his house burned down.
I mean, we clear that beach for him, and I mean, Mr. Araneth, I'm sorry again. How many islands in the sky do y'all have right now? 4 or 5?
You mean that are occupied by the Cloud Kingdom as it stands as a political entity, or how many floating islands are there above the glass sea?
No, how many are y'all in charge of currently?
Oh, I think anywhere between 30 and 50. Some range in size to be even bigger than this. And he gestures at, the capital city of the Cloud Kingdom is a city.
Oh, they're a whole country. I mean, like it's a big thing. They're not isolated and dying out. They're just isolated because they don't like to be around other people.
Lichen looks a little sheepish because he did not realize that the kingdom was that big. And just like, I'm really good on the water, guys. I don't.
No, I mean they don't talk to anybody.
Yeah, but I'm assuming, would they try to reclaim this place if they found out that it's safe and an ancient cloud elf is apparently still here?
Are you asking Araneth?
Yeah, I'm kind of just talking to the group while we're walking to the repository.
It's possible that they might, but there's all kinds of other problems that the Cloud Elves themselves are having. I regret to say it's in many ways there are people in decline, both in numbers and in passion and vigor for changing the world.
I think some of it too is if, this repository was important 1,000 years ago, we've had other problems come up since then. The Cloud Elves, while they are isolationists, they don't like the Admiralty. They're not actively fighting them the way that other nations are, or that they're not as quick to aid other nations. But I don't think they're going to suddenly turn evil and become a problem because they've. But if we see something down there that we go, oh, this is a terrible thing, maybe we do cut the chain and drop destroy the whole thing. But what I know about the Cloud Elves is they're snobs. They're not evil.
Fair enough. Hey, I'm all for clearing out a nest of metal hornets for. I mean, honestly, now that we're talking out loud, this could be a good thing for Lady Cassian, even if she knows that there's potentially a understanding, an agreement, a truce that she can make with Mr. Diomedes over there. But the world's clearly much different than what he remembers from when he sat down on that throne.
Yeah.
Also, how does he not have bed sores or something?
He probably does. That's honestly why I wondered if he needed some healing.
I think it's the magic and the elementals healing him frequently.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I don't think he's very comfortable.
He looked awful. He's not listening, is he?
He thinks he looks awful too, so it doesn't. I don't think he's listening, but it doesn't really matter. I think he's ready for his mission to be done.
That's exactly. I can tell he needs a rest.
As we're walking, I'm gonna talk in my mind, if I can, to Wayfinder real quick.
Yep.
Wayfinder,
Yes, Captain.
Do you have any lingering hate or war against the Cloud Elves? Do you feel anything that ship was? If I take you into this repository and slot you in somewhere or something, will you attack them or destroy them?
Death mode activated.
Do you have any lingering desire to win a war that is long gone?
Analysis. My directive was exploration and collation of knowledge, not combat. I am also unfamiliar with the length and duration of the war that this other intelligence was referring to. In my time, the Cloud Elves were perhaps economic and cultural rivals of the Sun Dwarves, and there had been conflicts at times, but there was not near the level of enmity that the other intelligence seemed to evidence.
Oh, so it's almost like Wayfinder was made when the war was becoming less of a hot war, less of a shooting war, more of just a... Okay.
Yeah. They're products of different times, similar operating systems, but similar enough operating systems that they can interface and talk to each other.
Yeah.
But Wayfinder, different purpose and also different era.
So one's from a war time, and another one's from a Cold War time.
Yeah, at a time when I think they were trying to do more diplomacy. Think 1940s versus 1980s or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's helpful.
And I think it's probably helpful to think of the current Cloud Elf Kingdom similar to Britain, how they used to have this empire. The sun never set on the British Empire, but now they've sort of retreated from all that, and they still have power, but they're much more inward focused. The Cloud Elves are. and some of their islands are like big as Scotland, and then there are other islands that are like the size of like a football field that are floating in the sky.
And Captain, there's a part of me that wonders as well, if we defeat this watchman and there are suddenly a bunch of these untethered, uncontrolled robots, could we use our rings to do more with them? Could they just be kept in waiting? I mean, this 1,000, 10,000 thing, it seems like he was a part of it, or was he subverted it or something.
Yeah, you saw those like strings of control or whatever it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that wasn't just my vision and my focus going.
It was
weird,
like it was like a leash. That's how I thought of it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad to hear you saw it too, because my focus has been acting up recently.
Yeah, there were giant exploding fish. That was great.
I know. I don't even know if I've seen a fish like that in my life. So I don't.
I love magic. Magic's amazing.
Feels lately like when I go into a focus, I can actually still see and hear and think about the things around me than how it kind of used to be. It's a little confusing. I'm not used to it yet.
Well, I think that may be for the better.
So, are y'all heading to the repository, or are y'all just like hanging in the?
I think
room?
Tam wants to wait for the other crew
Okay.
members.
I think I was thinking we were walking there and like they would kind of meet us there, or at least the ones we want to would.
Yeah, as y'all were standing around, another elemental comes up and says, "Rescuer tells you guys, your compatriots are here. They will meet you, those that wish, at the repository. Others are just heading to a dormitory that we have prepared for you. So they'll meet you there."
That's great. Thanks, Rescuer.
He says, "Do you want me to come with you to the repository?"
Sure. We need a guide, and we'd love someone that could point out what we need, and if we're looking for something, you might be able to help. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you, Are we calling him Rescuer 1? What are we calling him?
Thunderbird 1, go. No, I've just been calling him Mr. Rescuer.
All right, Mr. Rescuer. Yeah, if you could be Mr. Escort for us, that'd be much.
I don't give him more than one
much
name. That's
obliged.
just confusing.
He says, "I am able to go by 2 names." And he will lead you guys towards the back of the chamber. Like you go like around and behind the waterfall, behind the throne.
Have we seen any other elementals besides air elementals?
They're all air elementals
All air elementals.
that
Okay.
you've seen.
I think this is where some of Tam's soldiering comes in, is he is not asking deep questions. He's just preparing for the next mission. And so he is very kind of chipper now. He's like, okay, cool. We've got a new base. We have a new goal in mind. Let's prepare and we'll roll out when we're ready.
So yeah, you guys go down a spiral staircase into the rock of this floating island, down many stories, and there are cross passageways, and again, it's all empty, save you pass by air elementals here and there doing various tasks, until you find yourselves at a large chamber that is lit by torches that flicker with a pale blue arcane light. And at the front of this chamber is a massive bronze door that is set in and in some ways interlaid with weave that courses through it.
Cool.
And in front of it there's a big brazier that is also filled with blue flame. And standing next to this brazier is Penelope and Marcos. They wave at you guys, and Penelope's like, there you are, Captain. Our friend over here told us that we should wait here for you."
Penelope. And Lichen loses himself and hugs Penelope really tightly, and then realizes what he does and lets her go. And then it's like, Marco! And I hug him just as big and tender as well.
Tam just nods.
He sort of taps you awkwardly, and Marcos whispers in your ear. He's like, "I think you needed that more than I did." And but I appreciate it, Captain. And he grabs your shoulder.
I'm just glad you guys are okay and here. And I thought, oh gosh, I rolled a 2 for deception, so that's 7. For anyone who's paying attention, I guess.
Oh yeah, Tam. As soon as you
yeah,
ran to Penelope, Ben was waiting for it, and Tam immediately picked up on it.
I'm just glad y'all are here. I thought you two would be the most interested in this library, and I'm glad you're okay. And let's go ahead and get in there. And I'll turn my back on them.
Tam winks at Penelope.
Penelope smiles, and she just says, "Glad to see you too, Captain." And Marcos says, "Yeah, thanks for thinking of me, Captain. A lot of people don't realize it, but I have a lot of intellectual interests." And he pulls out this little wooden case, and he opens it, and he takes out some pince-nez glasses that just rest upon his nose, and he just sticks them there. For, the joy of knowledge.
Marcos, you look like such a goober.
Yeah, that's why I don't put these up. These are just for reading. You know, I have pretty good eyesight besides for
These are just
seagoing
for reading.
things. Yeah, I don't usually wear these when I'm around the ship. So I'd appreciate it if no one said anything to the other crew.
All right.
No, never, Marco.
Tam
Don't worry
just
about
tucks that away.
Yeah. Bergen, you hear a clattering down the stairs behind you, and Bergen catches up with you guys. He had apparently been trying to feed the Diomedes the food he'd been making. He said he wasn't really hungry, which I don't really understand, but whatever, that's fine.
He's probably so used to that bad food that
I made some
didn't wanna
empanadas, if any of you would like some.
Yes, I take one.
Yeah, it's great. And the air elementals beckon you forward towards the doors, and they put their windy appendages into these holes that are sort of carved in the frame of the door, and just sort of do something, and you hear a click as something is unlocked. And as soon as that happens, these bronze doors start to swing inward. And as soon as there's the slightest crack in the door, you hear a strange sound, a sort of keening. If these things have sounded like the wind howling, this is sounds like a gentle breeze that moves across the surface of a bottle, with many different pitches, many different notes, and it opens up into this room. There's a antechamber, and then you see many hallways going off of this chamber, and you walk in, and there are elementals here too, at this sort of front desk, cleaning things. You do not see any books, though. There are no books. And you hear these different things. You begin to notice along all of the walls at different stations, there are these sort of glowing, floating, ethereal lights or orbs. And you recognize that these are like sprites. These are some sort of magical being. And there are, just within range of what you can see, there are hundreds of them.
Hundreds, jeez.
Well, this is interesting. Captain, do you remember those strange things we watched when we found Wayfinder?
Oh, yeah, I do.
I wonder if this is the Cloud Elf version of that same storage system.
I have no idea. Rescuer, how do we use the repository? Do I go touch the pretty lights?
There's an index. One of these
lights.
helpers may assist you and bring you to the place where you wish to go, but the Cloud Elves, I don't really understand mortal knowledge, but it seems the Cloud Elves stored information in what you people might call song. And so he goes on to explain.
It's a listening room.
It's a listening room. Basically, you want to find out something, you go to the sprite that is the repository of that thing of knowledge, and you engage with it, and it sings to you the information.
That's
that
so
you
cool.
want.
That's so cool.
Rescuer goes on to explain there are enchantments such that basically if different people are listening to different sprites, it's not just like an overwhelming cacophony of noises.
Is there an indie folk section?
Yes, historical folk songs of the Northern Cloud Elves or historical folk songs of the Southern Cloud Elves.
Oh, okay.
This is one of the librarian air elementals that has come up beside you. Rescuer's I have duties to attend to. So
he kind of hands
excuses
us off
himself.
at this point.
Yep.
I'll kind of look at Tam, Burgen, Penelope, and Marco, and just be like, well, I think the master here needs some time to prep for a siege, and I think we all need at least one night's rest before we're tip top to even attempt it again. So we got nothing better to do. If y'all want to look up something that fancies each one of y'all and call it a day after that, I guess.
I may trance in here, Captain, depending on what I find.
I'm
Cool.
gonna go ask about. I know you didn't see it, but I'm gonna go see if they can tell me anything about that thing I saw when we were in that other dimension, trying to like get into the islands.
After you described it, and after I've thought about what Saint Adriel told me about the Forgotten Three and whatever Mr. Diomedes said, I'm wondering if they're all tied together. So we might be looking for this, and that's what I was going to look for, honestly. So I wonder if that may be. I'm interested in the Forgotten Three and tactics to defeat the Watchmen.
Why don't I go towards the Forgotten Three thing? Because I think you're right, and I'm curious. Like, do you think the Tyrant's tied up to that at all either?
I've got no idea, if I'm being perfectly honest. I was.
And then I'll look at Burgen and be like, Burgen, I'm assuming they got some like ancient recipes in here or something.
You look around, Bergen's already gone. You see him retreating down the section towards the cookbook sprites, and
There's
he's
a
already
cake icon on the shelf.
he's already scribbling furiously on a piece of parchment.
He's
that
like
he has.
nodding. Oh,
Yeah,
clarify
yeah.
the butter.
And hey, Tam, to take a page out of your book, I wasn't trying to poke fun or anything when I made that comment about you asking that guy just how he's doing. I think we look into everything we need to, but I think maybe each one of us looks up something fun too. Like I mean, these are cloud elves. I'm assuming they know wind current and stuff like that more so than anyone else. I wonder if I could learn anything about how to sail our ship a little faster or something.
I think as you say that, I think Tam thinks for a moment, and then he kind of looks at you with this weird look in his eyes, and he just says, I don't think I have any hobbies. Like, you said something fun, and nothing came to mind.
Lichen takes like a hard 10 seconds. Nothing.
Not like a passion or something that I'm...
You enjoy doing, or...
Well, I enjoy lots of things, but none of them... And that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Maybe...
I don't think you got to feel bad about it, but I mean, at the same time...
No, I've just never... I've
you
never
should,
thought
you
about
should
it.
have something.
I think for a long time what I've done is I don't want to say buried myself in my work, but I just put so much emphasis on doing my duty and fulfilling what was given to me to do that I'm realizing traveling with you and the crew that it's like I've ignored the richness of life. I've done good things, I've worked hard, I enjoy life, but it's like I've always just had the same thing on the menu, or I've never dug into something that I already enjoy, so I may do that. I may come out of here with a new hobby.
Yeah, I think that... I mean, I hope you do. I mean, there's got to be something that you enjoy. Like, I know mine's kind of job-specific with sailing and everything, but I mean, I love it. I love it. You spoke of beauty in the world, and to be honest, I didn't have much of that growing up as a kid, but open seas is freedom.
You love freedom,
And
yes.
it's beautiful, and it's repurposing, and it's all the things.
Is it bad that I wondered if there was going to be any stuff in here that we could, quote unquote, borrow?
Oh, I've been looking. Don't
I didn't
worry.
notice anything. I figured you'd be proud
There's,
of
to our knowledge, there's one living thing here.
me. Yeah.
So I don't know if he would even notice.
Yeah, I think I may go. I think before I trance, I may look into the Forgotten Three a bit, and then maybe after my trance, I may look into some poetry.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So the way this functions,
There once was a man by the sea.
the way this works is each of you, like an air elemental, will come up to each one of you, and you basically describe what you want, and it will like tug on your cloak, tug on the sleeve, and just like take you to a sprite that it thinks will be relevant to you.
Okay.
And so, Lichen, are you talking about the tyrant? Are you or about the big black tentacly thing? Are you asking about that?
I think I'm asking about the big black tentacly thing, and it seems like the Forgotten Three have
Yep.
been mentioning that.
Keywords: big
I-
black tentacles.
I
Yeah.
think I think the tyrant may or may not be connected with that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of the gist. The thing I saw from space. I know in your world, I don't know if we were actually in space. I'm just going to keep referring to it as space.
That's because it's what it was.
The thing I saw from space, the Forgotten Three, because it's been mentioned twice now in reference to this thing I saw, and then just the tyrant to see if there's a connection with that at all.
Yeah. So you both sort of make your pitch to the things, and both of them take you to the same sprite. It begins to sing. You both engage with it. It's this. It's actually kind of towards the back of the repository along this. You begin to get a sense of this chamber. There's a lot of. It's almost like a maze, like a labyrinth, with these walls where these sprites have spots basically to stay and be. But the broader room that these walls and shelves have been set into is a big circle. And so on the outer edge of this circle, you guys have been walking for a few minutes. You think you're kind of almost on the back side of this room, and both of your elemental custodians are taking you to the same place, and they kind of bump into each other. They almost look like they're going to have a little slap fight, but then they just, they tug on your sleeves and point you at this particular sprite, which you can see there's like the label in Elvish. You can't quite read it, but the elementals explain that it says Forgotten 3, Warning, Dangerous Knowledge.
Ooh.
And it begins to sing. And you hear this song, this lay, this epic poem. I'm not going to attempt to do it.
Sing,
I'm not going to perform this song.
Sing.
No. If I was a professional DM, a professional radio DM, maybe I would attempt it. But no. It talks about how in the ancient days, the sovereigns and the Forgotten Three were one family, were one band, were one group of heroes, essentially, that upon creation of the world were given the authority to guide it, to keep it, to protect it. But as the days grew long, 3 of their number became dissatisfied with the charter that the sovereigns had engaged upon. The sovereigns included such figures as Hala, the Lady of the Sun, Orion, the Lord of the Moons, Nema, the Lady of Storms, Fergus, the Lord of the Hearth, Ariadne, the Lady of the Forge, Hachiman, the Lord of the Warriors, Thera, the Lady of the Woods, Vash, the Lord of Secrets, and in their various domains and places they sought to keep and protect and preserve the worlds for mortal life, not interfering save through agents and emissaries unless it was at its utmost need. But 3, whose names have been scrubbed from the record, grew dissatisfied, discontent, for 3 different reasons. One of them, named Arcus, his desire to rule, to be preeminent, grew and grew and grew, until he attempted to betray and imprison the sovereigns outside of the world so that he would have dominion alone. His plot failed. He was bound to this world in monstrous gargantuan form and banished to a realm that you don't quite recognize. You don't know it refers to it as the Nether.
Oh, gosh.
But it also says that he got a new name, the Tyrant.
Okay. Oh, so many pins scribbling.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. It says, it ends its song, the stanza about the tyrant with, every beat of his heart is only along one line. It is to rule. To rule.
Oh,
And then
so
it picks
awesome.
up with its second stanza of this song. It talks about this figure that basically grew dissatisfied with the brokenness of the world. It saw the failure of its kindred. It saw the failure of Arcus, the tyrant, and basically came to a place where, okay, there are problems in the world. This world is broken. It's not worth protecting. It's not worth keeping. It's not worth saving. The only answer is to clean the slate, wipe everything out, and start fresh. And it attempted to do that. In the wake of Arcus's rebellion, it tried to ignore the sovereigns and attack the world directly. But thankfully, the sovereigns were able to bind it in the outer darkness, in the astral planes, reducing it to a form of shadow and tendrils and like an amorphous cloud out in the outer darkness. and instead of its true name, Tenebrow, it became known as the Shadow. And it ends its stanza, every beat of its heart is, I will extinguish. I must extinguish. To extinguish is its purpose, its goal. The final one was the longest in hiding, the one who seemed to maintain its status as one of the sovereigns for the longest, but slowly and surely, instead of keeping and protecting the world, working justice for the good of the world, this final fallen sovereign began to lash out against the creation and against its fellow sovereigns in the name of justice, but not a true justice, a harsh justice, a application of the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law. It endlessly devised ways to punish wrong, but soon it saw wrong in everything and in everyone. And so eventually this final fallen sovereign raised up in revolt a massive army against the sovereigns, drawn from the ranks of mortals and elementals and creatures from far planes, demons, fiends, and other monsters. And there was a large war, but eventually the sovereigns and Hachiman in particular struck a mighty wound into this final fallen sovereign, no longer known by his name Straven, but confined to and essentially made synonymous with this demi-plane that is known only as the oubliette. It describes the oubliette. It is both this Forgotten Three, this evil god, this fallen sovereign, and it is the dimension itself, which corresponds into regular D&D as like the Hells.
He is his own prison.
Yes, he is both warden and the highest prisoner within it. And the heartbeat of his heart is, I must punish. I must punish. I will punish. So that maps onto the D&D alignments. The Shadow is chaotic evil, to extinguish. The Tyrant is neutral evil, to rule. And the Oubliette is lawful evil, to punish.
Oh, so the Oubliette was its new name.
Yes.
Okay. And then it's bound in essentially the Nine Hells.
Yeah. It both is the dimension and it is bound there. It might be confusing, but yeah.
It's almost like you're making this up. This is so cool.
It's all magic.
So
I can make
cool.
it up. Yeah, I hope the lore dump has not been too boring for our listeners. But
so everything we were asking for is tied together. Okay. And they're essentially fallen gods. That's
yes and no. Yes and no. These are the cosmic powers in the background, right? These are the cosmic forces of evil in this setting. And in ancient times, they knew them, and now their names have been forgotten, both by prescription, like most of the nations of the world, like they are outlawed, they are prescribed. You're not allowed to be a follower of any of these three.
Mm-hmm.
But in some ways, that may serve some of their purposes as well, because no one really knows they exist or acknowledges them.
Okay.
So, Captain, you saw the Shadow.
I saw the Shadow. The Tyrant somehow roamed free about 300 years ago.
Where did it go? How was it stopped?
Well, they said it was bound in the Nether. At least that's what it sounded like when they were singing.
There's that Metallica song, Through the Never. That's all I can think of now. Twisting, turning through the never.
And I have no idea about this third
I'm realizing
thing.
that the Nether is also a Minecraft thing, so I'm wondering if I should change that.
No. Because
Okay,
all of our children listeners are loving this right now.
Okay, sure, there you go.
Because it's the
So
Nether Dragon!
We haven't met or known about the Oubliette. So
Not as far as you're aware.
do we do anything with this? I mean, who do I go
Who do we
tell?
report this to?
Oh, hey, by the way, I saw the Shadow trying to get into the world. Like, who do I go tell that to?
Philaria, my mentor in the faith of Hachiman, may have some wisdom if she may. Or when we were listening to that, were we clued into like the Shadow? Like everybody knows the Shadow's trying to get in and the world is being protected, or is it more that if the shadow is ever unleashed, it shall attempt to destroy the. Is it more like a prophecy kind of thing, or is there?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, of course it's trying to destroy the world. That's why bad things happen. That kind of does that distinction make sense?
Yeah, I'll say the knowledge that was communicated in the song is like, this is the accepted history of the world up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
At the 1,000 years ago when this was put together.
Oh, that's right, because this is old knowledge.
Yes, yeah. So, like, most of what this guy said, most of what the sprite said to you, neither of you have heard anything remotely like any of this in any of your, like, upbringing. So actually, most people today do not think this is the way the world works. They know that there's, like, evil magical powers out there. They know that there's liches and fiends and stuff, but there's no, like the sovereigns. There's
not a
gods,
source,
you know,
necessarily.
Yeah, it's just like the world's imperfect and broken.
And then with our modern knowledge, the tyrant from 300 years ago, was he pushed back by the sun dwarves and cloud elves, or did he just disappear one day?
He disappeared. There's a lot of stories. Some say that he just got bored. Some say some party of adventurers defeated him or wounded him. Some say the sovereign themselves intervened, but none of these tales are accurate. Like, none of the tales, it's not that they're not accurate. None of them, they all seem contradictory to each other.
None of them have proof.
The tyrant's not here anymore. But, you know, you feel like it's equally possible that this thing just got bored and went away, as it is that something actually put up a fight and drove them off.
I wonder, Captain, you've heard me talk of Falaria. If we can save this place and get her access, she has been a worshipper of Hachiman and knows far more of his love and the way that he protects the world far more than I do. Maybe we report this to her and she can come here and learn, or can point us in the right direction. I think you've got a good question. What do we do with this? I think the short answer is nothing. I mean, we were on a ship that had a panic mode and it teleported and you saw the shadow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're going to be able to do anything to a god. But maybe we start spreading the word that, you know, not that we're acolytes of the Forgotten Three, but that they are real. You know, ignoring evil doesn't mean that evil goes away. You've seen children cover their eyes and think they're hidden, and they're not. It seems that that's what we're doing with regard to these evil gods, these fallen sovereigns.
Fair. In our slight defense, we just found out about them.
Exactly. Oh, I meant we as in the people of the world, not us necessarily.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. I was about to say,
that was the universal we, not the me, you, and Penelope.
I literally just asked who we can tell, and you said somebody. Like, give me a day, damn.
Aren't you glad you didn't have to read about that, though? You just plugged in your headphones.
DM.
Yes.
I'm trying to put something together right now.
Uh-huh.
So, the Lord Admirals, I have a note here. Gian Matteo Di
Braganda. I remember that name.
Right?
Di Braganda, yeah.
He's a 300-year-old necromancer, and the tyrant went away 300 years, and he just disappeared.
Oh, no.
Is there any connection that I can roll? We're in, like, an old library, so I don't think they'd have any modern...
This is your fun roll now.
information, but, like...
Yeah. Like, what in particular are you trying to...
So, to put it into scope, I think the reason Lichen's trying to put this together right now, or thinks that he is because hearing this song, these ballads right now, and the tyrant, Arcus, with a desire to rule, that sounds like somebody who's wanting to rule all the seas.
Sounds like an admiralty.
And the times adding up, and Lichen knowing some of his background and the families on the Wandering City, if someone wants control like that, they don't just disappear. But Lichen also knows what it's like because he did it to run away and hide.
Yeah.
So, is there a connection between the Grand Admiral of the Silver Fleet being a necromancer and the tyrant in hiding?
Yeah, I think that... roll. Okay, I'm gonna ask for a couple rolls. One is
what role is this right now?
Yeah. First is roll an insight check. So roll 2 insight checks. for me. The first one about the repository and the second one about the Lord Admiral.
Okay, this one's been rolling pretty good for me. Come on. Okay. That is going to be a 15 on the first.
Okay.
Okay, so first, before you roll the second one, let me just tell you.
Nat 20. Yes, I will move. Yes. I will show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
So, a couple things. First off, the song in its section about the tyrant, it said nothing about the episode 300 years ago. You think that this song was recorded over 1,000 years ago. So it just doesn't address the tyrant's most recent foray into the world.
Okay.
So for the nat 20, as you think, this is more just sort of like putting what you've just heard and comparing it with
Give us your notes, Nathaniel.
the others.
Dump,
You do think.
dump.
Well, I'm sorry. There's not a lot I have for you actually, because you just don't like. You do know that the Admiralty rises to power in the wake of the tyrant coming and wrecking stuff up, and it may very well be that as a way of placating the tyrant, some of the Lord's admirals swore allegiance to him. With a nat 20, you're like, oh, I think that probably happened. But also, you know from every Admiralty person that you have encountered and just the general vibe of them, even if they had sworn allegiance, you think that they would probably try to take power for themselves at the first chance that they got, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the timing of the Admiralty rising to power, it is a direct result of the tyrant, for sure. But if that's because the tyrant is helping them, or because there's a power vacuum that the tyrant makes and they step into it, you're not sure.
Okay. Well, based on that then, and what I gleaned off of those two, then can I actually look up in the repository essentially what is the Nether more specifically?
Yeah.
What if we think the tyrant got out and wreaked havoc, but then maybe got sealed back again, like what is the Nether that he's bound
that's great.
into?
Yeah, you are led away by one of the elementals. Tam, do you want to look up anything else?
Michael's is so story focused and so good. I think Tam just wants to look up beautiful poetry. He wants to look up emotional poetry.
You are led through. I'll do Tam's first because it'll be quicker.
Of course.
You are led through the stacks, and you are led to a sprite that is kind of shimmering with gold energy. Most of these are sort of blue or white or silver. There's a few gold ones, but this one's gold. And you see that Marcos is standing in front of it, wiping some tears from his eyes. He's like, hey, hello, first officer. This must be a wrong turn. As this is poetry, I was looking for podiatry, the study of feet. Take me there.
Marcos, it's all right, mate. I'm here on purpose.
He's like, I'm just kidding. I like poetry. All right.
Is it good?
Cool. There's some good stuff in there. It's really good.
All right. I won't tell anybody.
And you start to listen, and you are just so much of the poetry is about clouds. They love talking about the clouds, but it is beautiful, used as metaphors for beginning, ending, life, death, the changing nature, in the way that you've probably heard some wood elf poets talking about rivers and nature imagery as metaphors for life. The shifting nature of clouds kind of stands in a similar way. Clouds are very important to these people, apparently. And you just feel very at peace as you start to feel things.
I think Tam, again, is just reminded of the joy that he has overlooked. And he's just like, man, there's still time.
Yeah. Going back to Lichen, you are led just a few rows down on a similar kind of part of the repository, and this sprite begins to speak and chant to you a much lower, darker song than the one that you heard before. It basically says the Nether is a realm that is a dark mirror of the material plane. And even as you think of it, you see in your mind, you remember when you were looking at the world, you remember you were seeing Tyroa, and it was a disc. And you saw the glass sea on the face of the disc, and you saw the continents of the world, and you saw the shimmering, arcane, divine, magical shield that was protecting it from the predations of the shadow. And this sprite describes to you a land of thirst and dust and hunger that is the opposite in every way of the glass sea of Tyroa. And you begin to realize in your mind's eye, you saw this disc, it's just under it. It's the opposite.
The upside down
face. It's the upside down. Yeah, it's the other side of the coin. The nether is the bottom of the
That's so good.
of the
This
world
is
of Tyroa.
so cool.
And it sounds like, dear listeners, for those versed in D&D lore, also as if it could stand as an analog to a common thing in D&D settings, the Shadowfell.
Yeah, that's what I wrote in my notes.
So this is the counterpart to the Shadowfell.
So if that's the case, then I gotta refer to the notes that we just took because there were so many of them. So the outer darkness something separate then? Because I saw it trying to attack from the outer darkness.
You think that, putting two and two together from where it talks about the outer darkness, you think that it's referring to just the astral sea, like the astral sea is just outside of the world. It's its own plane, it's its own place.
Not outer darkness like in the biblical sense, but just darkness that's on the outside.
No. Darkness that's outside.
Got it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Man. Okay. I think Lycan's just trying to digest all of this with his -1 intelligence.
How do the people not fall off?
I think I'm gonna go hear a song about sailing. Let's go do that for a while.
Cool. It takes you accidentally to a place as it begins to sing. It is singing a song of sailing on the winds, sailing through the skies. And you begin to realize, oh, this isn't like water sailing. This is sky sailing, airships and wind currents. And there's some things that are similar, but some things that are very different. I wonder how Lichen feels about that, given that he loves sailing, but he doesn't love heights.
Yeah.
But the song is casting sailing through the skies in a similar way. Like it feels in some ways similar to a song just about sailing on the water.
I think hearing it does calm him down a little bit. But yeah, once he realizes it's about sailing in the skies, I think he kind of looks down at Wayfinder's medallion, grips it really hard, and I think he finds almost like how his focus used to be, almost like a frustrating desire to be a talented captain that can kind of sail through all of these tribulations that we just learned about. I think Lycan's feeling like a very small fish in a much bigger ocean for the first time.
Yeah.
And one of the things is just kind of like, well, if I say I'm a captain, I have to learn how to sail my ship regardless of what I'm sailing through. And the sky is apparently just going to be an extension of that ocean now that Wayfinder can essentially fly for several hours.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those moments where it's funny because we're all dads. I talk to my daughter all the time about it's okay to be scared, but we absolutely have to try. You don't get to not try. Yep. So I think Lichen is just, I have to do it. I don't want to. I like the ocean. I'm safe in the ocean. I can breathe underwater. In order to be a better person and a better captain, I have to try.
Cool. As you have this sort of reverie, the rest of the crew that are with you are listening to various songs. All of a sudden, you feel a tremor run through the rock of this chamber. And you feel the very chamber shake around you, and dust kind of like falls down, and then there is horns and alarms sounded. And as you sort of collect yourselves at the front of the repository, Mr. Rescuer comes up and says, "We are under attack. Quickly, to the throne room." And I think that is a good place for us to end our session.
We didn't rest. We don't have our spell slots back.
No, we're just fully healed is all we got. Okay.
Oh no!
I didn't.
But you
use a
have
ton of stuff,
allies.
but-
I actually have a lot of spell slots. I didn't use many.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, guys,
Um,
that was amazing. Nathaniel, last time was amazing because it was scary and intense, and this time was just waves of knowledge. What? Oh, so good, so good. But that wraps
Thank
it
you.
up for this episode. We hope you're all enjoying it. If you don't mind, give us a like, comment, or subscribe. It really does help the podcast grow. Helps us know if we're doing a good job. We're having fun, but if nobody else is having fun, that may not be a good thing. We do have an Instagram. I haven't posted on it in months, and that streak looks to be continuing, if I'm being perfectly honest, but it is there. And let's roll for outro. What the heck is my advice going to be if I roll low?
Okay.
Okay, 14.
10. Even middle.
I got a 3.
Oh, okay, it's fine. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
more knowledge,
if you
Nathaniel.
are
More knowledge.
Sailing to, if you're sailing to a lost island and you are on this crew with tight knit, your friends, you've been through battle and war, I think it's okay. Like they'll be fine if you tell them that you like poetry. Like they're not going to judge you. They're your friends. So tell them you like poetry.
Poetry's great.
But like cool poetry.
Sometimes poetry's great.
Yeah, like good poetry.
Like good poetry. Okay, there is
Ooh,
bad
ooh.
poetry.
We'll get into that next time.
I'm not going to wade into that.
All right.
Man,
well,
thank y'all. That was awesome.
See you guys
that
later.
was so much fun. Later.
Bye.